It's showtime, a-holes. Time to strap yourself in and brace yourself for Muscle Asylum TV and radio.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode episode 2 of season 2021 of Muscle Asylum TV. We are joined by Mick the Gift Galley, Jimmy, what's happening with his hair, Sadek, and our newest Bodybuilding IFBB Pro, Bradley Dwight. Brad, listen, you've been asking to come on the podcast for at least 4.5 years now, back before anyone even knew who you were. So, listen, maths is on, so I've got to hurry up. Say what you want to say so we can get this shit over and done with. What do you want? What's the story?
I didn't even want to come on, mate. I just wanted to get the fucking mention that I deserved after I come third in the lineup to Ariel and Justin. You give me a bit of a rap, and I was like, fuck. If that's the kind of rap I get for coming third, imagine the rap I'll get for coming fucking first. So I go and I kill myself. I win the New South Wales. I win the Arnold Classic, the Corona Classic that no one ever fucking hears about because that's all you blokes ever talked about. Never got me mentioned. So here we are. Now I'm finally on the fucking show. How's it going, fellas?
I'll be honest. I didn't even know what your name was until 2 weeks ago.
Bathroom Dave.
That's the best intro I've ever seen. Honestly, the first time you were Brad was last year when he won that show, and I just remember how good he looked, and then it went from there.
Hey, Brad, are you genuinely upset about this?
Nah, man, I'm just happy to be here. Love the show. Love your work, fellas. And Jimmy, you've always got my back, so I'll never be mad at you.
Yeah. Now, you do realise last show we talked about you for 3/4 of the episode.
That was a cracker episode. That was the best episode.
You go.
How many weeks ago did you win? How long has it been?
What was it, 3 weeks now, or was it almost a month?
Yeah. Has it sunk in?
No, it's just still weird, man. It's still weird. I like people saying congratulations, and I was actually even on a building site, and my old man told one of the blokes that I'm this bodybuilding champion, this professional bodybuilder. Now this little Asian blokes and all his mates are coming up to me, taking photos with me, touching my arms and shit, being weird. So, but that's my old man stirring me up. So apart from that, it's been pretty normal. Just back to work, back to reality, and back in the gym.
Yeah.
You're saying randoms are coming up to you in the gym now trying to talk to you where they didn't want to talk to you beforehand.
Yeah, it's like now that I'm a pro, it's like they think they can just come up and talk to me like I'm just a different person. I'm still the same arsehole that I was before, you know what I mean? Like, just because I'm a pro doesn't mean you get to come up and just talk to me and ask me for all my tips and tricks.
Listen to this entitled motherfucker. Look at him now.
Honestly, brothers, I'm loving it sick. It's amazing, man. It's so much fun going on podcasts, interviews. Now this one.
Well, this is the only proper one anyway, so this is the only one that you're only going to get any recognition for.
Hey, come on, Xavier's good. I like that.
Oh, I didn't realise he did one. Sorry.
Zave got me hot off the press. He got me the very next day.
Yeah,
he was the first interview. He scooped me quick, man. You guys are just late to the party.
He's a bit like that. We prefer to just make a late entrance and fashionable entrance and just take our time and make sure that we got all our right questions ready to go for when you actually do come on, so we're not asking the same. The problem is, though, I haven't thought of any questions. Do you good boys want to talk about anything?
we never do. We just go straight off the cuff, which I think is a little bit better. Brad, I just want to know, obviously you got second at the New South Wales. I wasn't there, so I was only able to see Instagram pictures, and Gretchen was putting up some good video footage, more so at the Nationals. That was pretty close with Ariel. So from then to the Nationals, where, I mean, you still didn't know if you were in a chance of the pro card. How did that play on your mind mentally? Because Ariel's a good bodybuilder.
Yeah, man. Ariel was actually one of my first coaches. He coached me for my first junior and my first novice shows before the IFBB split way back when. And then when I started entering the open weight classes and it sort of looked like we'd be starting to potentially compete against each other, then I jumped on board with Luke, and I'd known Luke for a few years already. He always said he'd be happy to help me if I ever wanted to work with him, he'd be happy to. So jumped on with him, and then steady progress, chasing Ariel's heels for the last few years, and all I've wanted is to just best him at one show, you know what I mean? And that's all I wanted, because I always felt like I'd follow in his footsteps. He'd turn pro, and I'd turn pro, and it'd always just be this me behind him, master grasshopper sort of thing. And yeah, just wanted to beat him at the New South Wales, and that would have been sweet, but copped the second there. So I just wanted make those little improvements for the Nationals to hopefully beat him there. And then I thought Big Mike would, walk away with his card, and I'd go back for an off season. And like Richie said, I was going to probably just try and stay in shape for another month and do another show if I could. You know what I mean? Just for a bit of fun. I'm already in shape, and might as well do a third or fourth show if I could.
Yeah.
Why not?
And now you're pro.
I'm pro. I can't do shit.
We're playing that well.
Well, you might be doing anything for at least next year, yeah.
All you have to do is ask me whether or not you're allowed to do another federation, and we'll just turn you pro so you can't.
Yeah, that's right. It's locked me in now. Oh.
Did you start with Shembry because Ariel was with Shembry? Did he introduce you, or did you know him prior, and how'd that work out? Because it's coincidence that you've got the same coach.
Oh, no, it sort of is not really coincidence. I sort of met Luke through Ariel a bit, but I was already giving him cheek online when he was doing all those maxes, eating challenges with Goble back in the day. I was always giving Luke shit. And then he came to Canberra for some one-on-one PTs, and of course, I was a fan of Luke. I was sort of started bodybuilding just as he turned pro, so he was the guy to look up to when I started bodybuilding. So, of course, I was going to try and be cheeky to him 1 week, and then he's going to come train me legs the next week, and he absolutely smashed me. And then he just said, you've got some good genetics, you've got good work ethic, pull your head out of your ass a bit, and you'll be all right. So he said if I wanted to work with him, he'd be happy to. So a few years after working with Ariel for a couple more years, jumped on board with Luke, and I think I'll stick with him for a couple more after he's got me in my card. I'm pretty loyal to Luke. He's done good by me, and we work well together.
How did that work? Did it kind of get awkward in any way, shape, or form during prep, knowing that you've got Ariel, who you're good mates with, who is your previous coach? You train at the same gym now, or not? Because he's both from Canberra.
Yeah, we're both from Canberra, and we have trained at the same gym before. That's how I met Ariel way back in the day. But he's sort of on the other side of town now, and I'm training over at the Gold's gym here in Fishwick, closer to my home, because we're still like a half an hour, 40-minute drive from each other.
Yeah, but how did that go with prep when you've got obviously the same coach? Because you're pretty close, you're good mates.
Yeah.
Did you ask Luke as you were going, how's Ariel going, and or did any of that kind of happen, or was it was just friendly competition the whole way? I'm not saying that you were doing it in a sly way, but obviously you know that at the end of the day he's probably going to be your biggest competition on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I thought he was going to do the under-90s like he always does. I didn't think he was even going to. He snuck into my division, the cheeky prick. So I thought he'd be under 90s. I thought I'd be under 100s, and I thought Mike would be super heavies. I even had this little collage of a virtual pose down that I'd started because I started to play stupid games in my head where I start to compare myself to people that I might have to compete against and shit, just to psych myself out even more. And so I had Mike all in this little pose down, thinking that was going to be the overall, and then of course Ariel ended up in my class, so all three of us in the overall was not going to happen after that. And it never got awkward with Ariel either, he was pretty supportive of me, and I was always checking in on him, and we just chatted throughout, because we didn't really hang out or anything. We didn't train together throughout the prep, but we kept in touch, and I trusted Luke and to not play any games, like bring one in better than the other, any shit like that. Luke's a good bloke, and he just wanted to see me and Ariel at our best, and I think he was even excited for the battle between us.
You can see that from a distance looking in, though, too, though. Like, obviously, you're a pretty decent guy yourself, and Ariel's just a cool, level-headed guy too. So you can, I don't think anyone looking in would think there'd be conflict there at all. I just think that was just two good mates going at it, and
I think that became evident. That became evident when Brad did win, and the kind of way you embrace each other on stage. He looked happier for you than you were to win.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's a bit of sweat even for me to beat him, because I've always put him on this pedestal. He's like one of my favourite bodybuilders growing up. He was like the first real bodybuilder that I met and took me under his wing and showed me how to train properly. So everything I am is almost because of everything he sort of taught me right from the start. So it was a big moment for me to finally beat him, because, like I said, he's always been the highest of highs for me to aim to be like as a person and as a bodybuilder. So to beat him on stage, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe it. I never thought I'd beat him, to be honest.
There's a lesson to be learned here. Anyone who knows any young and aspiring bodybuilders, just fuck them off. Don't bring them in under your wing.
Don't help the guys. They'll fucking ruin your dreams.
Do you think there's a chance that obviously, as a coach, people like to have as many clients working underneath them with as many titles as possible. It just adds to their portfolio. Do you think that there is a chance that maybe Luke sabotage Ariel's prep so you can win for once, and then that way it makes him look like a better coach?
Well, Ariel's been at it longer, so if Luke did that, he's a dog, because Ariel probably deserves a pro card more than me. He's been doing it longer, so he should have picked me for the New South Wales show better, and then picked Ariel for the Nationals better so he could get what was his. But nah, man, Luke, no bias, no nothing. It was just like it was a coin toss. It was that close at New South Wales. If one of us came in 1% better or worse, it would have gone the other way. And the same thing happened at the Nationals, man. I just came in slightly better, and the rest happened the way it happened. And the way it went down in New South Wales is the way it went down in New South Wales.
With the Nationals, I mean, Gretchen had told me, so Jimmy and Chris, that you look like you'd really nailed it. Like you were very, very lean, very full. Everything was there. You're up against Big Mike in the overall. And they virtually said it was literally pose for pose. You know, you'd get one, Mike would get one. How did you feel up there with Mike? Like, did you think you were in with a good chance?
No, not really.
Really? Even up on stage?
I thought he was way more peeled. I thought last year I lost at the overalls at the New South Wales to Sadiq.
Yeah.
Bigger guy. And then I got second, I assume I got second in the overall at the Arnold's to Caldwell. Again, the bigger guy. So I was just thinking, size game, I'm not winning that this year. Mike's fucking almost a whole foot taller than me and about 20 kilos bigger. And he's rock hard. He didn't come in off at all. So I thought there was no shot. And to be honest, I thought I wasn't really happy with my condition at all this season. I thought I looked a lot better last year. I definitely made improvements size-wise and balanced my physique a little bit more, but I wish I was more conditioned.
Is that just in your head, though, you think?
Because even looking at photos, I think I was much harder, but that bit stringier and flatter last year.
Is that you think you put on more muscle and it just hasn't hard up?
Yeah, I think I definitely put on some muscle this year, because I track my measurements with every check-in that we do with Luke, and my waist was the smallest it's ever been. It actually got even a couple centimetres smaller than last prep, and all the other measurements are a good couple centimetres up. So, yeah, definitely had a good off-season, even though it was a short one. And I was in the fucking garage for most of it.
How do you track your progress? Because obviously Luke lives on the Sunshine Coast now. Do you have someone like you were just saying then, taking your measurements, doing your skin folds, or how do you work that out with an online coach?
No, it's all photos and measurements with the tape measure, so waist, thigh, chest, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, just the photos and my feedback, I guess, of how I'm feeling. And Luke takes all that on board, and we work pretty well together long distance. It's really no dramas.
Yeah, it looks like Luke doesn't take on too many clients too. Like, he had a fair few at the show, but he doesn't overindulge, and he puts more than 100% in the clients that he has on, which is evident in his clients' results. Because Ariel looked good. You looked, and I don't know what you're talking about with conditioning. I reckon that was your best ever. I reckon if you had to come in any more condition, you probably would have sacrificed a little bit of size and fullness, and probably not taken out that pro card, because you were up against a super heavyweight. So I think you nailed it in that respect. I reckon Jimmy will agree with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backstage was evident.
Yeah.
Especially seeing you from New South Wales, seeing how much you've improved. You improved from New South Wales, and how much the other two regressed, I suppose, or they peaked the week too early. You're a standout backstage. Like, all of us are whispering that you're more than likely going to beat Ariel, and you'll push Mike harder because of how hard you work. Do you even remember me coming to you backstage just before you went on the overalls saying, you're in with a real good fucking chance here, make sure you pose properly?
Nah, I thought you were already in the crowd. I don't remember shit.
No. I saw you backstage just before you hopped on, but it was a cute little moment watching you and Ariel tanning each other.
Yeah, Chris I heard last week he said like that. Well, he helped me out, man. He's like I said, man, we're friends. We're brothers before anything else. We're not going to let bodybuilding competitions and results determine whether we're going to be homies or whatever. So he was helping me out. I couldn't tear my own back, so he helped me out, and I'll do the same for him. We just wanted the best for each other, man. Whoever won was going to be stoked, and I was going to be happy for him. He's happy for me. So no beef.
Are you the type of bloke who does weird shit during his prep?
Yeah. Well, what's weird?
I don't know, like just heckling current Australian IFBB pros, trolling them on Facebook and Instagram just for no fucking reason at all.
Yeah, I don't know where I get the balls for that, but
So I've missed this.
I must have been feeling myself that day. If anyone that doesn't know, and they probably don't because I haven't really told anyone except you, Gretchen.
Really? Am I the only one that knows? Because when you did tell me about
Luke,
this, I was like...
Luke knows too.
I was like,
because
what the fuck are you doing?
Because it sort of has something to do with Luke a little bit too. Because it was Aaron. It was poor old Aaron. Poor Aaron. He put up an Instagram story, as he does, and said, I don't lie. If you know of any lies I've told, call me out. I'll wait. So straight in, as soon as I see that, I said, how about the whole I got invited to the Arnold Classic by Tony Dollier fiasco that never really happened, according to Luke Shembry. And he's come straight back with the fuck you, fuckwit. Are you fucking joking me, this, that? That's pretty rich coming from someone who's never achieved anything and all of these sorts of things. So he really got his back up. He must have been having an awful day. And I sort of was a bit like, oh, man, it's all jokes, bro. Fucking chill the fuck out. And anyway, I come off the stage winning that pro card months later. Aaron's standing backstage, looking smug, looking good. I walk past, lean over and say, now, fuckwit. And he's the smile from ear to ear on Aaron. He laughed it off. He was a good sport about it. It was good times, and he came up and apologised for overreacting over the silly comment and everything. So me and Aaron are boys again. We're cool. It's all good.
Sorry, I'm on mute. I didn't even realise. What did you say to him when you hopped off stage? You cut out just that 1 second.
Oh, because he told me that's pretty rich that I've never achieved from someone that's never achieved anything. So when I won the pro card, I saw him backstage and I was walking past to get my photo taken with Tony. I just leaned over and said, have I achieved something now? Fuck me. But he laughed it off. He was a good sport about it, and I actually was surprised that he took it so well. It was a good time. So
Aaron's a good sport. There's not many people that you can have a little bit of friendly banter with these days. Like everyone takes things a little bit too seriously and takes it to heart. Like me and Aaron, even Goebel and Shembry, we used to fucking ruin each other online back in the day, but it was all...
That's kind of why I thought he would think it was so funny, because it was to do with that era. It was from that time when Luke was fucking talking shit to him and he was talking shit, and then they were saying, well, let's fucking compete against each other, heavyweight versus the 212, we'll see who's the best pro out of us. And it was so funny. So I thought bringing it up to Aaron, he laughed it off straight away, but he really got his back up, and he actually said, ask Gally. So, Gally, did he get the invite? Tell us. Give us the scoop, mate. What's happening?
I've got to be honest. As far as I know, he did. Because I was in. Where did this happen?
I believe that he did. I'm going to say it. I believe
really
there was a discussion.
He actually got the invite. I really do, and I just think it's been a miscommunication somehow. And now I'll put myself on the firing line here as well.
Hey,
from Tony,
are you going to compete 212?
No, shit.
No, he's not a two. No way. No.
Wait.
I was 212 on stage. I was 96 flat.
That's 211 in US.
Oh,
you'll
close
get
enough.
Yeah,
I gotta get bigger. But I'm gonna take the time, bro. I want to do like 2-year off season, keep it clean.
Yeah.
With some professionalism, you know.
Yeah. That's what the majority of us have talked about, Brad. With your physique, your structure, you can easily do it, like you said, do it slowly, obviously, so you're not gaining parts where you don't want to be. Gaining parts, that didn't sound good. But you've got the ability there to put on quite a bit more muscle on that frame and still look good. Critique your own physique. What are your weak points? And don't just say everything. Like, what are your major weak points?
I think that my strong points would be my quads and my shoulders. And my back actually was pretty good this year. I brought it up a lot. I wouldn't call it a strong point just yet, but I've improved it a lot. And I'm pretty happy with some of my back shots now, whereas they were lat spread, rear double. It was all shit. I hated it. But this year, I actually think that that might have helped me put it over Mike and Ariel at both in both classes there. So back's improved for sure, but I really want bigger calves, even though Jimmy reckons they don't get judged.
Fucking telling you they don't get judged.
I don't know. Basically everything, man. I just want to keep my waist tight. That's all. If I can beat a super heavy that looks as good as Mike does, then obviously it's my shape that's winning me the show. So I don't want to try and rush to the stage with crazy mass and try and keep up with Nick Walker and just abuse everything under the sun and completely ruin myself and burn myself out before I even touch the stage. So I'm just trying to keep the look and just keep creating that X frame, you know what I mean? Get the quads sweep bigger and get the delts bigger, the back wider, just keep growing everywhere except the waist, really. That's the aim until I can't grow anymore.
Have you spoken to Mike after the show?
A little bit, man. I sort of left him alone for a little while after it because same with Ariel. I'm their friend as well, but I don't want to be that prick, that's like, how you feeling, buddy, or any shit like that, and like rubbing salt in the wound. Like I'm the prick that beat them, so they don't want to hear from me. So I sort of let them come to me, and I've heard from them both since. And Mike seems to be doing all right. He seems to be pretty positive and heading into the next comp. Ariel as well, actually.
Yeah.
They seem to be putting the foot down now for the next show. So
who do you see as being Australia's next pro then? With those names you just mentioned, plus obviously there's a lot of other guys involved as well. You've got Halusi, you've got Timmy McKinnon, you've got some big super heavyweights all getting together, and then you've got a lot of lighter guys as well. We discussed this before, didn't we, Gretch? Like, I think Stan has got a very complete body.
I don't know if Mike Dawn might be doing it. I'm not sure. I know he looked really good in photos not long ago. Who?
Mike Dawn does look good at the moment.
Yeah, man, he looks like
he's back on his Instagram.
He looks like he's about 96 kilos lean.
Yeah.
So
good guys getting together.
He's putting Who do you think? Who's your top three? Bradley.
I got asked today, and I said, aside from Ariel and Mike, which would be silly to leave them out of the conversation, being, runner-ups pretty much this year. Big Timbo, I think Timmy McKinnon's in line, and I think Newcomb's in line if he's competing. I don't know really keep up with his Instagram. He's pretty quiet on there. So I think those four blokes are probably ones to watch. But I didn't even know that Dean was doing the shows.
Who?
Dean McKillop and.
Don't know. Never heard of him.
I think the only reason I brought that up is because when I was chatting with Logan the other day about season B, and he'd heard our show last week, so it's good to see Logan's listening to Gretch. And he mentioned those names. He said Dean, Dryden,
he must have been bored.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Sadiq, you said's not doing it. Hey, Jimmy.
No.
From
a conversation that I had with him 3 months ago, he's not doing it.
I'm just trying to think back to all the guys that have beaten Brad. And Sadiq was one of them. Who beat you in the overalls? Oh, no, it was, he's already a pro now. Yeah. No, look, It's going to be a good season B. It's going to be a good season B.
Trying to put shit on Brad then, eh?
Yeah, I was, but he didn't even pick up on that.
He did fucking beat you.
It's fucking terrible.
So, Brad, you've only just, you didn't expect to win the pro card. You've got it. What, we're hoping next year that, let's hope all the shows are back on, pro shows. Any thought to what you would do? Would you do a cluster of them, 2 to 3 together? Any thought at all?
I don't know. If Tony put something on locally, I'd love to be able to do a hometown pro show first, especially because it'd be an Arnold or something like that where he gets pretty high caliber athletes. So it'd be cool to be on stage with like William Bonac and some of those sorts of guys. So maybe the Arnold Classic as the first one in maybe 18 months' time or something like that, if there's one on. Otherwise, I'll start thinking about some, like you said, a cluster of shows overseas, maybe some smaller ones overseas in the US, maybe. See how I go. But I really want to take a good bit of time off just to grow a bit more and look the part,
Have you been chilling now post-comp, like just embracing the win and relaxing, or have you gone gung-ho, I'm a pro bodybuilder now, I'm training as hard as I can? What have you been doing?
Nah, I spent a week in the Gold Coast chilling out after the show, and then I come home for the last 2 weeks now. I've pretty much just been on the same sort of diet that I was on before the show, and then just eating whatever I want for dinner, just to sort of keep myself some sort of in check. I got a photo shoot in a couple of weeks, so I'm still trying to stay a little bit tidy. But then I'll take some time off, and then maybe fucking hit the off season hard in a couple of months' time when I'm ready to go, get some blood work done, and see what's happening in there. And just charge it when I'm ready.
Tell us what was the inspiration behind the porn star moustache, the porn star music, and your posing routine. Are you just a porn connoisseur, or you just knew that? Bit of a khaki,
I'm just a groovy dude, I'm just a groovy cat. I just like Rick James. I like to bring something different to the posing routines. I just sick of seeing the same shit all the time. You get 10 cunts doing the same song at the same show. I'm sick of that shit. So I think outside the box, get something groovy, get something that people are going to remember and smile about, clap their hands to, and the stash just goes along with it. You know what I mean? It's just a good look.
I can respect that, because what you said is 100% correct. That was the routine. Mike's routine was very good. Ariel's was good also. But yours was the one everyone was talking about and everyone will remember because it had people laughing, but the choreography was spot on. Like, it was fucking sick to watch. Like, you're so eloquent with your posing. It shows that you put a lot of time and dedication into working out how you're going to structure your routine, and then the music and the moustache just went with it.
Absolutely. But if I'm going to be honest with you, Gretchy, I appreciate the credit that you're giving me, but I sort of threw that routine together on stage. Because if you watch the one from New South Wales and Queensland, I start facing the same sort of pose, but I'm facing opposite ways, and the transitions are all different. I sort of knew what I wanted to do, but I just know I can dance. So I just thought I'll just go up and dance and hit a few shots in the middle, and it'll all come together.
So that little jig in the middle of the Nationals routine, that was ad lib. Like, you just added that in because you fucked up your transition.
I did a different one. I did a different one at New South Wales. I did something sexy at New South Wales, but it wasn't the same move as the Queensland show. It was a different move. I just threw something else in.
Hey,
Freestyle.
I like it.
how long did it take for you to change your name to IFBB Pro on Instagram?
Oh, I did it the same day.
I love it.
I was pretty pumped about it, Gretchen. You wouldn't know.
You need to. That's the part you need to put on our Instagram before the show to highlight it. I'll pay that.
You're saving that one in the bank.
I wanted to
Just
say
so quick too.
Down right here on my notes.
He had it there. 100% he had that there. What are you doing now? But with your new status as a pro, are you using that in the business perspective at all? Like, do you do any PT or train clients or nothing like that, or are you just doing your bathrooms? Is that what you do?
The bathroom rave thing is something totally dumb and stupid, but I'm a concreter.
Well, all right, then don't worry about the concreting part. Explain the dumb and stupid part. Where'd you get bathroom rave?
All right, I'm coming clean with you. When I started training, I was a big fan of Ziz and chest
Jimmy, what are we going to do with this guy?
So these guys were doing the full muzz at the festival, so I was having these little bathroom discos on my own, filming them and putting them on YouTube just as a piss take for a bit of fun. And it sort of took off a little bit, especially around town, and I was just bathroom rave, and I've just never changed my name since then. From doing these little discos in the bathroom, cutting loose.
I'm watching YouTube right now. What am I looking up?
Is there any way we can see these?
You won't find it, mate. It's without a trace. I've done well to...
someone had them somewhere. Someone would have saved.
Some creeps probably got them.
If anyone has got them, please send them to me, and I'll add them.
Send them to me. I don't even have them anymore.
I'll add them into this podcast.
That laptop exploded from too much porn viruses, man, back in them days. That's how long ago these things were.
That's hilarious. Jimmy's good mates with his brother, Chess Bro. Real good mates.
You guys are mates, and you hang out on weekends and stuff?
Weekends? Yeah.
Oh, funny good.
George.
My missus just told me to keep it down. Baby's asleep.
Yeah, cool.
Apologies. So anyway, moving on from that, are you doing anything like coaching or anything like, or you're not even going to go down that path?
I would like to, for sure. I'd like to get off the tools a bit and maybe be a bit more involved in the scene, in the industry and things like that, and maybe travel around, do some muscle camp type training with a few people, but just trying to tear it up now because I'm not like already a coach or anything like a lot of other guys who compete already PTs online and doing coaching. I'm not doing any of it. I've just been on the tools up until now, so I'm just trying to make moves now and think what I'm going to do next. But I definitely want to try and take on some clients in the near future. PT out of a few gyms, maybe travel around Australia and check out a few gyms and train a few people. But I don't know. I'm looking for maybe someone to help me out financially, sponsor me so I can get overseas and do some shows eventually. Not right now, but fuck, man. It's a tough gig being a pro bodybuilder. I didn't realise how fucking expensive it was to be a pro.
Hey, get a good GoFundMe.
Yeah, I need to get my cock out or something.
Just doing OnlyFans. Fuck it.
Yeah, well, who's going to sign up to that?
Gretch.
I'll do it just that's my contribution to his sponsorship.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. But that'd be a first.
Well,
it's not like there's not girls out there doing it. Hey?
Yeah.
Promote it on the Asylum page.
Did you say that'd be a first?
It'd be a first for a bloke to do it, like a pro bodybuilder.
The grapefruit.
Who?
Kai Green.
Yeah, but he didn't do it for money.
Yeah,
he did it for money, but he did it for free.
Yeah, but not on OnlyFans. I'm
He
talking
wasn't
about.
around back then.
Oh, well, then it'll be a first then, won't it, dipshit?
No, but he's already done it.
Blokes have OnlyFans, dipshit.
No, I'm sure there's guys who are OnlyFans.
I know there's blokes that
Heaps
got
of them.
OnlyFans, but I'm talking about an Aussie pro bodybuilder. Aussie pro. Aaron Pilates have an OnlyFans? No.
Yeah,
No one thinks
He
Mr.
doesn't-
He doesn't
Why
have
not?
to.
Probably
He's
another
trading
fan.
stocks.
I reckon Gally should do one. An
Gally's too old to do it.
old man OnlyFans. Yeah.
Gally's old. Maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, imagine all the sawdust. That'll be disgusting.
Oh, you're an idiot.
So do you do an off season with Lukey, Brad, or is it just prep
Yeah.
for that? Yeah.
Yeah, we work all year round. He programs all my training and everything. So, but not as frequent check-ins. We do sort of monthly, every 3 weeks sort of check-ins in the off season. If I'm getting fat, we'll start checking in more. But he's pretty good. He stays on top of me, keeps me accountable. So I like to have him there all year round. I don't think I'd be real successful in the off season if I didn't have someone to sort of ride me a little bit.
You reckon just let things go?
I'm just a lazy motherfucker, man. I'm to be honest with you. I like to eat shit bird, and I like to sometimes say I don't feel like going to the gym.
What's
said-
wrong with that?
I said that I wasn't going to ask the cliche questions, but I'm actually interested in knowing this one because you started off as you enjoyed skating. I don't know if you did skateboarding competitively, but I know you did it recreationally. What got you into bodybuilding? Like, what was it that I always liked this? Like, I've heard people say my head was too big, and I was self-conscious. So I wanted my body to catch up. Like weird shit like that. And I don't know whether or not you'll have a weird story and what got you into bodybuilding.
I've wanted to be huge for ages. I just love wanting to be big. I used to look at Dragon Ball Z growing up. I used to draw it all the time. I think my parents thought I was either going to be a bodybuilder or gay. Because I was just drawing physiques flat out from like primary school right through high school. I was all about physiques. And then I played football for a bit, so I wanted to get bigger for that. So that's what got me into weight training and wanting to be bigger. And then I fucking thought footy was just shit house, so I just like training more than I like playing footy. So I just trained full time. And you know how it is when you're a young fella starting to put on some muscle, some random bloke always comes up to you in the gym and says, "Have you thought about competing?" And then I started competing.
How long ago was your first show? Because like I wasn't mucking around when I said I had no idea who you were until a couple of years ago.
I did my first show in the INBA 7 years ago.
Oh, shit. It is a while. I just figured you only just come on the scene 2 years ago.
So that's what
I just started doing good 2 years ago.
There you go.
So, Brad, don't worry, mate. I knew who you were.
Yeah, Jimmy actually gave me the nod. I remember when Charles was backstage taking photos of me. He gave me the nod. Said, "This kid, he's good." I had nothing, but Jimmy gave me the nod.
Jimmy remembers you from your bathroom rave videos. That's why he gave you the nod.
Big fan.
How did you shoot go with Charles after Nationals?
That was awesome, man. I got some sick shots. He wants me to narrow it down to just a few for him to edit and finalise, but there's fucking hundreds of the fucking things, and they're all sick.
Don't lie, bro. He wants you to narrow it down to 100, so you got to pay for them. Charles wants.
What? Yeah, Charles gets cash. He takes a lot of good photos.
Where'd you guys shoot at?
We just went down to near the river near Brisbane, and we just went walking around the area and took some by the water, some sort of in the streets area, and it was a pretty cool shoot. And he didn't have anything planned after me, so we shot till about 2 a.m.
Yeah, nice.
Did you do any weird shit?
Wicked. I ate a meal, just pretended to eat a meal, so I looked like bodybuildery.
No. Not ate any weird shit. Did you do any weird shit? Like, was there any theme to your shoot? I thought you would have gotten pretty creative.
It was just cool posing. I just wanted to do some look a bit classic. I had the mo going, had some little trunks on, and I just wanted to pose with cool lights behind me. That's basically all I wanted to do. I saw all the photos that he does in Vegas with like Bonac and stuff, and I thought like the lights behind them cool, but Brisbane, I had nowhere really with good lights, so we just went to the river instead.
So I would have envisioned you doing one with your little round sunglasses, dreadies, tie-dye shirt all ripped in different places. That would have been sick.
Yeah, it would have been sick, but it was a present, actually. My mum and my girlfriend and my friend all chipped in because, like Jimmy said, he makes bank. So they all chipped in and got me to shoot. It was sort of like a, "Brad, you got to shoot." Surprise. So I was didn't really have any time to think of a mad theme or anything. So I just went did some cool posing, and some cool shit. It was actually some good photos.
That's a cool present, but that's a cool gift.
Yeah, it was awesome because I wouldn't have forked out that money for myself. I always think I look like dog shit. I never want to book a photo shoot because I'm like, I look crap this year. I'll look better next year. I'll get a photo shoot then. So they forced me to get one, and I actually loved the photos. So it'll be cool to see the finals.
Yeah, it goes well, Charles.
Tell us a little bit about another memorable moment of that that nationals and that overalls was your reaction when you actually did get announced as the winner. The look in your eyes was pure shock. Like you were like even the heavy panting and the breathing, it looked like it sucked the air out of you hearing your name.
Yeah, dead set. It really did. It winded me. It winded me hard. I just hit the deck straight away. I didn't expect to hear my name called. I just thought it was Tony building up a bit of suspense, and then Mike Pearson. You know what I mean? That's really what I thought. So when I heard my name, Panu, Prabjot Singh next to me, the under 80s guy, he already was grabbed me by the arm like he knew I was going to win. Though he grabbed me by the arm, ready to throw my hand up. So I don't know. It's pretty weird and cool to know how many people, had my back for the win. I thought, it was a very Mike was the heavy favourite. I thought.
It was so close. It was very close. But you, and I mentioned this last week, you said you listened to it. You slowly won more and more poses as you went on. And you were very chilled on stage. I don't think nerves got to you. I think you were just happy to be in that overalls and you were just out there having fun, which at the end of the day pays dividends with your cortisol because you were just having the time of your life out there.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head when you said that last week because that's exactly how it went down. I was chill coming in thinking I just wanted to try and beat Ariel. I didn't even think I would because I didn't think – I thought he'd improve over the week and I'd improve over the week, so I didn't think there was much of a chance to even beat him. So I was going in relaxed just to have a good time and spend the week having a holiday with the missus after the show. That's sort of where my head was already at in holiday mode.
How long did it take to sink in after you did win? Like a few days, obviously, or it still hasn't sunk in?
I still watch the videos and get all weird about it, especially that edit that bloke put out on the Pro League page. That makes me feel weird and like I'm still at the show again. It's a fucking weird feeling.
Yeah, that was a real good video too. That was one of the best backstage, onstage videos I've ever seen. Yeah, ever seen, mate. Yeah, really good. What are you going to release as your first line of clothing with t-shirts? I reckon something to the theme of the porn star moustache.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I should team up with Movember and do a few shirts. But I was thinking of getting some shirts, doing some tie-dye shirts.
Tie-dye. I reckon bathroom rave needs to appear on there somewhere.
Yeah, the Instagram hashtag on the back.
100%.
I'll buy one now.
I'd wear that around. I'd wear that around.
Just for.
Just for.
A few more sessions with the newbie. I need a 5.
Have you tried it yet, Brett?
No, Jimmy hasn't invited me to have my free session for week overall.
Should have been first on the list.
I'm coming.
When you saw Ariel at the posing clinic at New South Wales, I think it was only about 2 weeks ago, did you quietly feel a little bit more confident? Because I'm guessing that would have been the first time you saw him in person leading up to the show.
He fucking the cheeky prick did a full session before the posing routine. So when I got there, he was looking large and in charge and vascular. And I was just on regular. What day was the posing workshop? Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay, so it was a regular carbs day, but I wasn't like pumping heavy carbs, so it wasn't a super high carb day. So he was looking full and sick, and I just looked like a normal cunt. So I thought he looked mad, but then I sort of had my friend taking some cheeky photos there, and when I looked at him, I saw how shredded I was from the back. And then I sort of got a little bit more confident, but not. I'm never confident with Ariel because I know how good he is, and I thought I was keeping up. I just felt good about how I was looking, but I didn't think I was confident to win the show. But I tell you this, I did get confident after travelling with him to Queensland because we were sending our photos to Luke and stuff back and forth, and I started to see how he was looking, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm that little bit tighter. Even if he improves by tomorrow, which I know he's going to, so will I, because I've peaked for this shit. So I actually had a bit of confidence coming into the Nationals against Ariel.
Would it be a bit of a fairy tale ending if Ariel walked away with the pro card in October, in your eyes?
That would be pretty cool. I am always rooting for Ariel. He's one of my best mates, so I would love to see him take one. I would have been happy to see him take one a couple of weeks back. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, but are you going to be in his corner? Will you be there backstage, teaming him up, helping him out, and helping him pump up?
Yeah, for sure. Where's the show in Melbourne? I'll go. Fucking oath.
Ask Ariel. You've got to tee that up with him now. You've got to carry his bags.
Did you see Tony just announced the that Fit Fest?
Yeah, so we'll get Tony on and he can talk more about that. But yeah, that's what I was mentioning last week. That will be the first weekend of November at Melbourne Convention Centre. So that's the expo this year. Obviously, it can't be the Arnold's because there's no international travel.
Will that be nationals?
Say that again.
That'll be nationals. Like there'll be a competition.
Yeah. So the nationals will be at that day. Yeah.
So when's your show?
October 10th, 4 weeks out.
Cheeky plug.
Cheeky plug, thanks, bro. We'll wrap it up. Is there any sponsors you want to make mention to, or you haven't been approached yet?
My sponsors? No, not really. Just Chambry PT, Luke Chambry, and my massage therapist, XL Massage, Clint here in Canberra. If you're in Canberra and you're listening, go see Clint. He's tip top.
What's your masseuse's name? I'm guessing Hot Little Thai Girl.
No, that's my weekend fun. My massage therapist's name is Clint Robertson from XL Massage.
You couldn't have. Yeah, that's not a turn on at all. That's probably the worst name for a bloke ever, Clint.
Big Clinton.
What's your name, Clint? I don't want a bloke touching me named Clint.
I'm Clinterous. I like Clint.
All right, mate, we'll wrap up. Thanks for coming on. It's good to see, like we mentioned last week, it's good to see someone with a bit of character walking away with a pro card. Not that our previous pros don't have character, but you're a funny cunt. I think I'll put you in front. And I love how you have that little banter with Aaron and being a cocky prick before you even walked away with a pro card. That shows how funny you are. And yeah, congratulations, man. Everyone's happy for you. Everyone was very happy on the day. I mentioned in the podcast last week that there wouldn't have been a disappointed person in there had Mike walked away with it or had you walked away with it. And it was a bit of it was satisfying seeing a smaller guy win because it wasn't as obvious as what past pro qualifiers have been, if that makes sense.
Cool.
You know what I mean? It was good to see.
I really had to fucking earn it, you know. I feel like I really had to earn it. I've been following even Mike Pearson on Instagram since I was young, looking up to him. So I really fucking had to turn it on at the Nationals and beat two guys that I've looked up to who I put above me for years. So it was sick. It was really sick to win that show. And I agree. I think Mike would easily have won that show as well. I've looked at it. He's got some killer shots, especially from the rear, that I was happy to say that he won that shot by a mile. But I watched the videos and I hear you guys saying the side shots. I appreciate you guys mentioning my side shots. I think my side shots definitely beat his that day.
Yeah, definitely. And Mike's got a very similar personality to you, so I'd even hit him up if I were you leading up to his show to do some content social media wise because you used to think of some funny shit together.
Yeah, we had a training session once when he visited Canberra. We had a lot of fun and we do keep in contact pretty regularly, especially throughout the prep we did. He's been a bit quiet lately, doing his own thing, but yeah, I would love to hang out with Mike more. And he's a king of content. He helped me so much with exposure. You know, I fucking have no followers. No one knows who I am. So it would be cool to team up with Mike and hopefully get my face out there a little bit more.
Yeah, good on you. You got any more questions, boys, before we wrap up?
No, that was good.
Good on you. All right, Brad, thank you very much for coming on.
Hey, thanks you guys for having me on. I appreciate all the kind words, and I'll see you again soon.
No worries.
Absolutely.
And you can stop hassling me now too. You've been on, so shut the fuck up.
I want to be a regular guest.
We'll get you on when you win your first pro show. That'll be
All right. See you, boys.
All right, mate. Catch you later. And